Hello friends, in this video we will learn about multiplication of integers. Now to multiply integers we have to multiply the numerical values and also multiply the sign. Let's first say sign multiplication. When we multiply two same signs we get always a positive, and when we multiply opposite signs we get negative. That means if positive and positive or negative and negatives we are multiplying, the answer will be always positive. And when negative and positive or positive and negative are multiplying, we'll always get negative. Let's take an example. So here we can see we are multiplying two positive integers. Here a positive with a negative, here negative with positive, and negative with a negative integer. So as per the rules, we will multiply the numbers. So 3 twos are 6 and then multiply their sign. So positive multiplied by positive, we get positive. So the answer is positive 6. Following the same rules, we'll get negative 6 because positive multiplied by negative. Opposite sign we are multiplying, so we'll get always negative. Here also opposite signs, that means negative 6. Here negative multiplied by another negative, that becomes positive 6. Now to understand the multiplication of integers we will take the help of counters. Let's multiply positive 3 and positive 2, or in general we say plus 3 and plus 2. For this let's take two counters, yellow and red. Yellow be positive and red be negative. Now, the multiplication means you are making groups. So, as the multiplication resembles groups, so we can say we want three groups of positive 2. So, what is three groups of positive 2? First, we'll write down what is positive 2. Positive 2 is nothing but two positives. So, two yellow stars. Like that, we'll make three groups. Now, when we count, we'll have now six yellow stars. So yellow means positive, so we have six positives. Next, suppose you are multiplying a positive with a negative. The same thing. So we want three groups of negative 2. So this is negative 2. So like that, we want three groups. So total how many are there? We have six negatives. So that becomes minus 6. Now, a negative 3 multiplied with positive 2. Same thing will follow groups. So we want three groups of positive 2. So one group, two, three. So that is three groups of positive 2. But what about this? Now negative means it is opposite. So we want opposite of this. So opposite of yellow stars will be obviously red stars. So now instead of three groups of positive 2, we are getting three groups of negative 2. So that becomes minus 6 because we have 6 negatives. Now let's multiply two negative integers. Continuing with the same process, we have three groups of negative 2. Opposite of that, as we have negative in the beginning, so we'll take opposite of all the stars. So opposite of all the red stars becomes yellow. So yellow is positive. So we have three groups of positive 2. So three groups of positive 2 mean six stars, six yellow stars. So that becomes positive 6. Let's see. Now, following the same rules, let's multiply these three integers. First, multiplying the numbers, then multiplying the sign. When we multiply the numbers, we get 30. When you multiply the sign, plus multiplied by minus, positive multiplied by negative becomes negative. Again, negative multiplied by positive becomes negative. So finally, we get minus 30. Same way, first multiply the numbers, then multiply the sign. Now here, minus multiplied by minus, that becomes plus. Again, plus multiplied by plus, we have plus. So the answer becomes plus 30. So here we will learn some easy multiplication of signs. Now suppose we have a question like this: some positives multiplied by some negatives. Here the easy method is just we have to count how many negatives are there. In the question, how many negatives are there? So we can see here we have 5 negatives. Now 5 is an odd number. So if we get odd number of negatives, the answer will be always a negative. So finally we get the answer is minus 1, because 1 multiplied by 1, how many times also will multiply, we'll get it 1. And when we multiply the signs, we get negative, because 5 negatives are there. So it is an odd, so the answer will be always negative. Now let's take here. Now here we have 4 negatives. Now 4 is a even number. So if even number are getting, so the answer will be always positive. That's why we get an answer positive 1. So remember, if even number of negatives are there, the answer will be positive. If odd number of negatives are there, the answer will be negative. Let's take an example. Minus 3 multiplied by plus 2 multiplied by minus 5 multiplied by minus 2 again multiplied by plus 1. We can write the question as like this also, without multiplication. So in between brackets, if we don't have, that means it is multiplied. So the first rule, how many negatives are there? Here we have 1, 2, 3 negatives. So 3 negatives means they are odd. If they are odd, we get a negative answer. So it's confirmed that the answer will be a negative 1. Next, we have to multiply the numbers. So 3 2s are 6, 6 5s are 30, 32s are 60, 61s are 60. So finally, we get the answer as 60. So any number of integers we can multiply in this method. Thank you and keep exploring.